Thanks so much for staying with us on First Time Home Buyer, aimed at helping you, the home buyer, zero in on the best buys in your budget. So write into us and we'll make sure that you get the smartest data-backed advice from Prop Equity. So let's move on. We've got our caller, Ajit Krishna, waiting on the phone line. Ajit, hi. I believe you want to buy in Chennai. Spell out your budget and tell us if there's any location you have in mind within that city.
Yes, hi. Actually, I'm calling from Chennai, and I'm looking for 3 BHK apartment, and budget is approximately 50 to 60 lakhs, and location is Kelabakam. And one more thing, I have seen a property that is PBL city.
Okay.
So I need your, suggestion that can I go with this property, or you do have some other recommended same kind of property.
All right. As far as I know, Samir, PBEL has very good reputation. At least the promoters that I've interacted with, met with, seem like a professional bunch. Go ahead. This project is located in Kelambakam. So what are some of the key highlights of this area and micro market?
Yeah. So we like this micro market, Manisha, primarily because of its proximity to the largest IT hub probably in the country, and I would call that the Sipcot Industrial Park. Approximately 600 acres, which is the biggest employment hub in Chennai, of course. Market is oversupplied for obvious reasons. Chennai has been the slowest moving market in the last 4 years amongst the top 6 cities. Rating is 6 because of its proximity and reasonably decent social infrastructure. You're bang on the developer reputation on PBL. This is a good project getting ready next year. 6 to 8 months is what they're saying the possession will be handed over in, and you can pick it up from the developer. Very decent pricing, around the weighted average price of the market. However, we have 2 projects which are even slightly cheaper, getting ready around the same time. In Town by Vishkarma Properties is the second recommendation. It's under 55 lakhs. And lastly, we have Blessings by Citylight. This is a project which is slightly shooting over 60 lakhs. But the good news is it's getting ready this year itself.
All right, Ajit. So you've been lucky, in fact, if you're an end user in Chennai market, this has been a market which has really not gone up at all. So you're getting today homes at prices which were there 4 years ago, if not cheaper. So here are the 3 recommendations, Ajit, for you: 55 to 60 lakhs. PBL, good shortlist. Go ahead with it. You can also look at slightly cheaper projects, but then, of course, projects are all about going there, stepping in, liking the surroundings, also liking the layout. There's also Vishkarma Properties and Blessings by City Lights. And here's also another, let's say, advice to all of you. Please look at RERA registration for all the projects before you buy. It's important now that the timelines, deadline has been actually declared. You can go ahead and search for RERA registration for especially under construction and not ready to move in projects. Ready to move in do not have a RERA registration necessity. Our next query is from Srinivas. He's emailed us that he's looking for a 2 to 3 BHK apartment in Hafizpet in Hyderabad. He's okay with apartments, Samir, which are ready to move in or which will get ready very quickly. So what do we give him? I mean, how far is Hafizpet from High-Tech City, though?
Manisha, Hafizpet is roughly about 2 to 3 kilometers away from High-Tech and about 4 to 5 kilometers away from Gachibowli, 2 of the biggest employment generation hubs and most in-demand micro markets from a residential point of view. So that's why Hafizpet becomes very exciting, because it's not really in the IT hub area, which is where you will see a lot of commercial activity, which is not very well preferred for a residential location. But being in close proximity to an IT hub is better than being in the IT hub itself.
Right.
That's what we figured out, and that's why this micro market does command some kind of a premium as well. And it's an undersupplied market because most people figured that out. Rating is 6.5. Some marks gone on the affordable to, I would say, the mid-market kind of reputation this area has got. The 3 recommendations from our side, all 3 getting ready by next year itself. Sankalp by Stanch Projects. The second recommendation is Woodrose by Alekhya Constructions. And lastly, we have Sai Vamsi Brinday by Sai Vamsi Projects. All 3 projects are available with the developer. All 3 projects getting ready in 2018 and are in that affordable price point of 55 lakhs to 65 lakhs.
I'm just hoping and keeping my fingers crossed, Sameer. I was recently in Hyderabad and I did get a full view of high-tech city, Gachibowli, and I also got caught in a nightmare traffic between Banjara Hills and Jubilee Hills and high-tech city. So essentially, that metro has to be speeded up. Otherwise, you know, this again will be a story like Bangalore. Too many projects and not enough infrastructure.
That's why you choose a destination like Hafizpet and don't go that side at all.
You still have to travel for work.
At Gachibowli and go back home.
All right, 16 lakhs, 3 projects, Hyderabad, Hafizpet. We're talking about Sankalp by Stanch projects, Woodrose by Alekhya Constructions, and Sai Vamsi, Brindavan by Sai Vamsi projects. All right, quickly, we've got time to take one last question. Prerna Chadda, she sent her question via Twitter, yes, and she says she wants a ready-to-move-in apartment in Indrapuram, 1 to 1.2 crores. Is her budget. Well, Indrapuram has mostly ready-to-move-in apartments, isn't it, Sameer? It is mostly a resale market.
Yes, it's a secondary market completely now. Literally, 7 is the rating that we give because it has all the social infrastructure in place, including great malls and schools in the close proximity. Also, right bang next to Noida. Undersupplied market because we're talking about the ready market, of course, and it's been a secondary market for a long time. ATS Advantage, one of the top developers of the north by ATS Builders, is the first recommendation. A project's been ready since 2013. Shipra Shrishti by Shipra Limited, again a project ready since 2016. And lastly, we have Saya Zenith by Saya Homes. This is also a new project ready in 2015, all available in the resale market. Of course, in projects which are secondary in nature and older, you will have to go to the resale market and get them.
Sameer, are there any new projects coming up at all in this area, or you just have to go to the resale market, you don't have a choice?
Well, if you're talking about new launches in the last 6 months, no. There have been no new launches in this area in the last 6 months.
And, you know, I'm just looking at the market data. So it's still at about 6,250 rupees per square foot. My question is that why would, I mean, I know that here the lady wanted something in Indrapuram, but aren't there better markets much cheaper now in the vicinity, especially if you could move to Noida side?
I would completely agree with you on that, but there must have been some reason why she's chosen Indrapuram as a micro market, and we've restricted ourselves to that brief. But yes, if I had a choice and I had the choice to live between Noida and Indrapuram, I'd choose Noida, I'd choose the expressway and buy a ready-to-move-in project at around 4,500 rupees a square foot. That would be my logical choice if I'm a new home buyer and an end use, but maybe there are other concerns. Maybe her child goes to school there, or you know, they have their business there. We can't comment on that.
All right. So Indrapuram, actually some very decent recommendations. Hopefully you can get projects. ATS, you know, has a good reputation, come up with very good projects. So there's ATS Advantage by ATS, Shipra Shrishti by Shipra Group, and Saya Zenith by Saya Homes. So again, we managed to cover 6 markets, pretty good run rate, I must say, Sameer. So if you've got any questions on buying or selling property and want prop equity data-backed advice, simply drop us an email at home@nw18.com. Even if you've got a sell question, are you getting the right price? Can you sell it looking at the inventory in that market? We'll be happy to answer them as well. Sameer, thank you very much for joining me on FTHB. And, well, hopefully we'll get many more questions as we go along. Goodbye from me. I'll be back with you same time next week.